like.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Moments ago, a scene that's played here since 2004. Big Ben Roethlisberger greeted by this sold-out Heinz Field crowd. His Steelers getting set to match up with the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And with towels waving, we're underway from Heinz Field. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bernardrick McKinney coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Open man is Miller. He's got him. Say goodbye to Braxton Miller. Touchdown, Houston. Braxton Miller, 44 yards. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. On the return, Fitzgerald to Son. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Jonathan Joseph is that wily veteran that you want on your team at all times. He's great in the locker room, fantastic on the field. And if you're a young guy, just watch how he prepares. What is he doing to combat old age? Pilates and yoga. That's extending his career, making him more flexible, and still that guy who can go out there and cover the elite receivers in the NFL.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers, and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell's a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
And no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the 1st. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Whitney merciless. In there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Here's Watson. Out to his left. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Jonathan Bostic able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-0 is our score. More from the Steel City coming up after this. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going at quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 18. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Black 22! Black 22!
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Rolling to his right. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. First catch of the game for Hopkins. It's a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
On 1st down, it's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A pair of 1st downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
To throw is Watson. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Now Watson to throw on 3rd down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
I know they had good coverage downfield, But you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
They go back to the ground now with Miller, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Flush to his right, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Bud Dupree, tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Reset. Richmond.
3rd and long. It's Watson. This is caught. And he's going to get into the end zone. So the fake spike works, and they score. Braxton Miller, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Texans will add on to their lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. And McDonald here over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Garland toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. That's McDonald. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Here's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
On first down, Watson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Texans on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. On 4th down, here's the veteran Shane Leckler to punt it away. Back deep, Antonio Brown. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Got his man complete over the middle. It's McDonald. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And that one results in 35 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Going to throw right side here, complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Second and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. Again, it's Roethlisberger. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Zach Cunningham coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has certainly been one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference, as the teams have already come back out onto the field for the second half. So let's get you back out as well to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And here comes the Texans now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Watson now to throw. Forced out to his left. Runs through the contact. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
The Texans on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Here's Watson. The catch made by Miller. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
To throw on second is Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for
first
naught
down.
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Watson hands this to Foreman. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Green 39! Green 39! Come back, come back!
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. He's going to wind up in there into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you've got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop him, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Set! Lock in!
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So, Party, next time we see this coaching staff, I want you to have my back here because that was really kind of a white flag type of a play, almost a little bit of a surrender. Just turn and hand it to the big guy, get what you can, and be prepared to kick the ball away.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we got a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A little juke. Oh, one more time.
Won't he just stand still?
The 20. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 50 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, you know, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Toussaint now to return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Over the middle, complete. That's McDonald. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 8 yards in the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Watson on first down. Dancing to his left. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's a give to Miller. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Texans on third down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 10. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. They've got his man. Complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup. 52 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Now a handoff to Miller. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Watson on third down. And finds his target, Fuller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Watson now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Lamar Miller, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Being chased out left. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Reset. Hey, blue 80.
Watson escaping the pressure right. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the gun on third, Watson. And he's got Miller. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Give him 30 yards there. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Richmond.
Miller. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Throwing now, Watson. That's complete, right around the 8. A good display of footwork. It gets him just inside the 5 to the 4. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Texans on 3rd down, as close to automatic as you can get, 9 out of 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Watson. Buying time to his left. And he's in. It's a Houston Texans touchdown.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time a 6-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Toussaint now to return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
That goes for a gain of 31. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll.
Richmond, come back. Blue 80.
And Watson's going to throw it here. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.